Part 1. FAFSA. One thing to consider when looking for financial aid is the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It's how you apply for federal grants, work-study, and student loans. When you complete the FAFSA, colleges use your data to determine your financial aid eligibility, and many states and colleges use your data to award their own financial aid. We're going to watch 2 quick videos giving an overview of the FAFSA.
If you're interested in financial aid for college or career school, you're going to need to fill out the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. It takes most people about 30 minutes to complete online, and the best part, it's 100% free, and it provides you with access to grants, loans, and work-study funds from the federal government. And many colleges and states use FAFSA information to provide their own college or state financial aid. Before you fill out the FAFSA, it's a good idea to create your FSA ID, a username and password that lets you electronically sign your FAFSA and gives you access to various websites related to federal student aid. And here's an important tip. If your parent is providing information on your FAFSA, he or she will need his or her own FSA ID. Visit studentaid.gov/FSA ID for more information. Your FAFSA can be completed online at FAFSA.gov, and help is provided throughout the online application process. You will need to fill out the FAFSA each year you are in school because your financial situation may change. Plus, you may be able to automatically transfer your tax data from the IRS, making the application even quicker to fill out. Each state and college or career school sets its own deadline for the FAFSA, so it's best to get it done early. Since some of the funds are available on a first-come, first-served basis, you don't want to miss out. Now that you know about the FAFSA, you might be asking, well, how much money will I get? Your college or career school will do the math, and there's a simple formula that they use. First, the college takes your cost of attendance, which is the total amount it will cost you to go to that school. Your cost of attendance will vary from school to school. Then, the college subtracts your expected family contribution, or EFC. Your EFC is based on information provided in your FAFSA and will not change based on the school you attend. However, the EFC is not necessarily the amount of money you will have to pay. Basically, your cost of attendance minus your EFC equals your financial need. Your college uses your financial need and other information to determine how much financial aid you can receive. See? Pretty simple. If you have questions or need more information, please visit studentaid.gov.
And studentaid.gov is a great resource if you have any more questions. But now we're going to watch another video that'll give you a little bit more information about the FAFSA.
So you want to go to college or career school. Maybe you started saving early. Maybe you'll discover some buried treasure, but more likely you'll need another plan. So if paying for college is going to fall on your shoulders, the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid is the best place to turn for assistance. I bet you didn't know that we're the largest provider of grants, loans, and work-study funds, all of which are easy to apply for. And when it is time to apply for aid, head to your favorite spot to complete the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. Each October, a new FAFSA is available for the next school year, and completing it is free when you go to the official website, FAFSA.gov. Your selected colleges will use the information on your FAFSA to figure out how much aid you'll get, so make sure your info is accurate. But if you need to, you can go back and make some changes. If you get a grant or work-study job, congrats, you won't have to pay the money back. However, a federal loan is borrowed money, and you'll need to promise to repay it. Remember to borrow only what you need, because a federal student loan is a real loan. Just like with a car or home loan, it's important that you understand what you're agreeing to. Although college, financial aid, and the prospect of an instant noodle diet can be a little overwhelming, you'll be putting yourself on the path to success when you take the time to plan out your options and let the Office of Federal Student Aid help you along the way. If you have questions or need more information, please visit studentaid.gov.
Awesome. Okay. So like the video mentioned, The FAFSA considers your eligibility for federal grants, work study, as well as student loans. And so federal grants are sources of money from the federal government that you usually don't have to pay back. And some examples of federal grants are the federal Pell Grants, the Teacher Education Assistance for College and Higher Education Grants, or the TEACH Grants, the Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grants, or FSEOG, and then the Iraq and Afghanistan Service Grants. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail of these grants later on. But the next thing that I want to talk about is a work study, and a work study is a part-time job while you're enrolled in school for undergraduate and graduate students with financial need, and it is available to full-time students as well as part-time students. And then the last thing I want to mention about this page is that the FAFSA determines your eligibility for student loans. And so student loans are money that you borrow and must pay back with interest. So there are 3 types of loans offered through FAFSA, and the first one is a direct subsidized loan, and this is a loan that you don't have to immediately pay back interest on because the U.S. Department of Education pays the interest while you're still in school. But different from that is the direct unsubsidized loan, in which it's a loan that contains interest from the start of you borrowing them. So it already comes with interest, and the government doesn't pay that interest for you. And the last one I want to talk about is direct plus loans, and these are federal loans that eligible parents of dependent undergraduate students can receive. So your parents can receive these on your behalf or for you, and as well as graduate and professional students can also receive direct plus loans. So there are 7 sections to the FAFSA application, and the first section, section 1, is the student demographics section, and this asks questions about your basic contact information and your demographics, such as where you live, your education history, if you would like to be considered for a work study, and information on your parent or guardian's education history. Section 2 is the school selection section, and this section allows you to select up to 10 schools that you want to send your FAFSA information to. So utilize this as you will. You can select up to 10 schools. So do your research ahead of time of what schools you want to send your information to. Section 3, or the dependency status section, asks if you have children or other people that you're financially supporting. Section 4 and 5 ask questions about your parents or guardians, so parent demographics and parent financials. Section 6 asks questions about how much you've made working, so your income, your tax information, and government programs that you are utilizing. And then lastly, section 7, the sign and submit section, is where you review your information and make sure that everything you put down is correct and accurate. You agree to the terms and conditions of the FAFSA, and you sign your form. Don't forget to click submit, otherwise your FAFSA won't be received. So I just want to go over some quick tips and info for filling out the FAFSA. Like the video said, you can go to FAFSA.org to fill it out, and the FAFSA application opens on October 1st of each year and closes on June 30th. But I would be aware that different states have different deadlines. So regarding the state of the college that you want to attend or the school that you want to attend, I would be sure to find out that information of when they require your FAFSA to be in. The next thing is that filling out the FAFSA form should take about an hour or less to complete, so it's not too long. And before starting, make sure you have the necessary information and documentation readily available. So this includes your Social Security number, your federal income tax returns, your W-2s, your FSA ID, and other stuff. So your FSA ID is what you'll create in order to fill out the FAFSA, and your parent or guardian who is helping you will also need to create a FSA ID. And in the form, there are help buttons next to certain questions, and these buttons look like circles with little question marks in them. So you can click on those circle buttons to get more information about what the question is asking. And then after each page of questions, at the bottom you'll need to press continue in order to go on. And then a green message will also pop up after each section saying that your application was saved. You don't need to complete the entire form at once. You can save your application for up to 45 days. And then you will have to fill out the FAFSA form each year. So it's not a one-time thing. You have to fill it out each year while you're in school in order to be considered for student financial aid the following year. So, for example, for the 2022-2023 school year, you'll need to fill out the application in 2021 or until June 2022. And the FAFSA worksheet link will be attached in the workshop Google form, just so you have an idea of what kind of questions the FAFSA is going to ask so that you can be prepared.